Puzzlers? Let's play. Let's see. Okay. Ones. Okay, no one, no one. One or a one. 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 Two. 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 Does this all make sense?
Okay. Okay, so the hubby's been summoned again.
Does that make all sense?
Well, let's...
Annotations.
Well, you've only got a 3 here.
Yeah, which makes sense. 3.
Are you sure that that's a 3? Because if that's a 3, it better be a big 3.
Well, it's like I makes in that I marked everything right. Okay, so that's a 3. And there's a problematic 5. I think. Right? And am I missing anything that else could go in this 5? This 5. Can't be a 1.
Well, it can't be 1, 3, or 4 by column 1 logic, or 6, 7, 8, 9 by row 5 logic, so the only other thing it could be is a 2.
Okay.
Let's see. So, the way I normally did these things, okay, well, if that's a 3, and you're sure that's a good digit.
Yeah. There's nothing else fits there.
Obviously that can't be 3.
Yeah. It means it's a 4 or a 6.
And that's not 3.
Yeah.
Let's see, 2, 5, 8, 7. So you need 1, 3, 4, 6, and 9. For the rest of column 9, this can be anything. This one, 3 and 9 are out. But 4 isn't. At least not yet. This one, by 1, 3, 4, 6, 9, yeah, 3, 6 are out, but 1, 4, and 9 are still possible. This one, 3, 6, and 9 are out, so this is indeed 1 or 4, and this one can be anything but 9, so I like what's here.
Okay.
If we look at column 8, you've got 5, 6, and 9 placed. That means you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8 that are left.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 2, 3, 7 are out.
Mm.
So this is 1, 4, or 8. This one by 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. Well, 2 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. So 2's out and 3's out and 1's out because it's given. Yeah.
Oh, wait. 9 is also out because 9's given.
Well, 9's also out, yeah.
So it's a 4 or 8.
8. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, and 3's out and 8's out, but the rest are still possible. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, but 1, 4, 8, and 9 are out. But I don't think 3, and 3's out because it's in the box, so that is indeed 2 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. 2's out, 4's out, 8's out, 9's out. So yeah, that's 1 or 3. And that looks like 1, 3, 4, or 8.
Okay.
And I don't have anything obvious in here that leads to a pair. Now here you've got 2, 5, 7, 9, so 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 are left, and yeah, they're all still possible. Here you start with 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, and you get rid of 3 and 6, so yeah, you go 1, 4, 8. Here, 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 are out. That leaves you with 2, 5, 7, 9, and you get rid of 2 and 7 by the column, so that's right. Here, 6, 7, 8, 9, inclusive are out, along with 3, so, and 2, so yeah, that's 1, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5, 7, 9 are out. 1, 6, 8, but I think 4 is still possible.
Okay.
And this one, yeah, unfortunately, as you've seen, can be a whole bunch of things. You can see why normally when I start these things, I don't look at, okay, where are the 9s going, where are the 8s going. I look at, how many digits do I have given? But yes, this is rather annoying that you don't have any pairs here, because this is 4 or 6, and this is 4 or 8. If we knew that these were either a 4, 6 or 4, 8, that would go a long way toward filling in the rest of row 7, but we don't have that. What we have are 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 placed. You need 4, 6, 8, 9 that are left, and this can't be 9, but I think 8 still can be 4. But this one is definitely not 4, so that's right.
Yeah. It can be 9. It can be 8. It can be 6.
Okay, the next obvious place to look, at least that I see, is row 5, which is here, and 6, 7, 8, 9 are placed. That means, well, thankfully we only have to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's somewhat easier to remember what digits we don't have. Now, this one we already looked at, this one we already looked at. This one can't be 4 because it's in the box, but I think it can still be 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one you've got 1, 2, but this 3 is not in this box.
So it could be 3.
That could still be 3, yes. Now, yeah, this one you do have correctly marked as either 2 or 5. Looking for hidden pairs or triples or something else that we may have missed while we're filling in the rest of this grid here. So we've looked at columns 7, 8, and 9. We know those are right. Next I'm looking at column 4 here. We have 3, 4, 6, and 8.
Okay, that can be a 3. That can't be a 3.
Well, if that's 3, well, that can't be 3 now, can it?
Yeah. Or the top row. Because it was the only thing that was 3 in there. The only thing that fit there.
Yeah, well, you can't have that being a 3 either now, can you?
Or that, or that. Which means that has to be 3 because 3,
well,
3.
This 3 rules out anything in this box. This 3, because it's good, rules out anything in this box. This isn't 3 because of that. And that's given, so yeah, that's a 3.
Yeah. So 3s can only be...
Now, that tells you this isn't 3.
And that can't be a 3. Because of a
That
given...
never could have been a 3 anyway.
So 50-50.
Okay, in box 1, you have 4 given digits. That means you only have to place 5 other ones, to wit 1, 2, 5, 6, and 8. Now, this one can't be 5 or 8, so yeah, it's 1, 2, or 6. This one can't be 2 or 1, so yeah, this one is down to 5 or 8. This one, yep, looks like 1, 5, or 8. Okay, the only one I can get rid of here is 1. And the same with that. Well, that's irritating.
Yeah. One of these has to be 1 because of the 2 given ones. I don't know which one is 1, but I know one of them has to be 1.
Okay, so we know this is good. Oh, this is really annoying. Do that. Okay, that at least stands out.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that part is good for now.
I think we looked at everything in here and we knew that was good. Yeah, I didn't get everything, but whoop-de-doo.
Okay, up here. Did we looked in here? The center one?
Column 4, we have 3, 4, 6, and 8 that are placed. That means we need 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9. Which this indeed is not 7, but I think it's still going to be 9. Yeah, that one is definitely not 5, 7, or 9, so that is 1 or 2. This one, yep, can be any of them. That one, yep, 5 or 9 are out, and 5 or 9 are out. Now, this is where filling in the grid and making sure your markings are right will help. Looking at row 3, where does 6 go?
6 can only go in block 1.
Now look at row 3. Don't look at block 1. Look at row 3.
It can only go there.
So she's arguing that that's a 6. Now, remember what I said earlier about you'd mark 1 in one of 2 places? So yeah, where does 1 go?
It has to go in the center of box 1. No, that's a good. Okay.
Now that may help with the rest of this because none of these are 1.
Okay.
Now, I believe we said we looked at these and we knew that these were good, so at least the logic to get to here was good. Yeah, there should be pairs that should be made, because normally you're able to write at least a couple of these digits once you discover pairs and things. I'm not sure what the New York Times is doing, but this feels like a harder meeting grid than usual.
Well, we checked this line, right?
Everything I've got marked in dark purple are things we've checked and we believe that the logic behind the markings there is good.
That makes sense That makes sense.
Not quite.
It can't be 6.
So that 6 tells you that ain't 6. And that's not 6.
And that's not 6.
And that better not be 6.
Yeah, not 6. Not 6.
Or that. Or that.
It gives me a 2, 8, and a 4, 8, 4, 8 pair.
Okay, now, this 4, 8 pair in row 7 tells you one of these cells is a 4. The other one has to be an 8. So, in a correctly completed Sudoku, how many 4s are in row 7?
1.
And how many 8s are in row 7?
1.
So how many other cells can be a 4?
It's like, okay.
How many other cells in here can be a 4?
No other one can be 7, which means that cannot be a 4.
So we know by elimination that's a 6.
Which means that's not a 6 either.
So now we know that's not 6.
And we also know that can't be an 8, so that has to be a 9.
And that can't be an 8 because of the pair looking at it, so that's been a 9 for quite some time.
Okay. Which now we means no, this one has to be a 9. Given the given 9 is like, it has to be in the bottom.
And yep, these 2 9s force a 9 down there, and yeah, that's a 9.
Okay, and the only place we can place a 9.
Well, this 9 and this 9 will force a 9 in the
They
right
with the column.
of box 6. But it can't go here because of this 9, so yeah, that forces a 9 there.
One, 4, 6, 1, 4, 6, 1, 4.
Yeah, that's very irritating. If we had 3 cells that were 1, 4, 6 in the same row or column or box, we'd be able to do elimination because we'd know none of the other cells in whatever region we just identified could be any of the aforementioned candidates.
Well, okay. Does that mean the top one in row 9, in column 9, and row 8, column 9, have to be, one of those is a 6? We can't eliminate 4 or 1, but one of those has to be a 6.
Let's see. What? Okay, 9 and these are good. Okay, this 9 tells me that's not 9.
Yeah. Okay. 9, 9. Okay, so the 9 has to be up top. And why did we eliminate it? Okay, we can't be a 9 here. Why did we eliminate a 9 in the center? We didn't limit, it's like marked.
We know that's not 9. And we know that's not 9.
But that could be a 9.
Yeah, that needs a 9 in it, actually.
They have to be a 9. One of those two has to be a 9. Which one? Don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking for what other things can we do by elimination. 3, 5, 6, 9. Okay, there's a whole bunch. We got way too many 6s in here.
Okay.
Okay, 4, 4 through 9 inclusive are taken in row 3. So these are 1, 2, 3 in some fashion, of which this isn't 2, this can still be anything, and this isn't 3. So I like where we are here. Here in row 2, because we now have 5 digits, that's a little bit easier to figure out now. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 placed, we only need 4, 5, 7, and 8. Of which this can't be 5 or 8. And this can't be only 8, so I like where these are. And these two, we can only eliminate 6, 7, 8 by row and box logic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 are very much still possible, and this can't be 5.
Which we marked
And
it.
this can't be 9. But yeah, anything else is still possible. So I like where these are. Well, actually, sometimes filling in the rest of the grid leads you to some interesting conclusions, like look at row 4. And where does the 3 go?
Oh, 3 can only go there.
No, I think you can also get there because this 3 and this 3 tells you that 3 in box 4 can't be on the left.
It can't
And it can't be on the right. It must be in the middle, either here or here, but it can't go here because of this 3. So this never could have been 3.
Which means that has to be a 3.
Yeah, that 3 is now forced.
And you know that is good. 3. Does that help with anything else?
Not really.
Well, okay. That means one of these two has to be a 3.
We've already eliminated 3 from the other cells in row 5. Well, and everything else in box 5 is also not 3. Well,
Which means... Well, 50 shot of 3, huh? Okay.
you got too many possibilities for your digits in row 4 and row 6. Row 7's about your best clean row at this point. But unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit before you can fill the rest of that in.
Okay. Okay, next row. Down, is there anything? Wait, we know that's good, right? It's like, the options are good. Okay. That's a given. Okay, okay. Well, one of these 3 has to be a 1 because we filled in the bottom row of that box.
Okay, so we're arguing that one of these has to be a 1 now.
And Norma's positive that's a really good digit. Yeah.
So 1's here, which means we're pretty sure these ain't 1.
Gives me a 2, 7. 2, 4, 7, 8. Oh, and one of these two has to be an 8 because of can't be in the middle. Has to be in the middle somewhere there. Which means one of these has to be a 1. Does it tell me anything about 1s anywhere else?
And nor does it help one do any other pairs. Normally, I feel confident saying this has to be either 1 or 6, just deleting it and putting in 1, 6 as a center option. But you got 1, 6, you got 1, 4, and this can still be 3 candidates.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that doesn't help you much.
Okay.
In a similar fashion, you've got a 1, 8 here, which, unfortunately, if that was a 2, 8, it would help us, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other write-ins at this point?
Well, 7 has to be one of these two in the first column. One's good because it's a running number. Ah, well. Okay. That helps. One of these two has to be a 5.
Okay, you're arguing one of these two cells has to be a 5 on what?
One of the column 1, row 8, or column 2, row 8, because box 8 and 9 both have 5s at the top and bottom.
Which would theoretically reduce this down to a 5, 7, but that doesn't help us with a 2, 7 here. Boo his grumble.
Okay, well, we got down to 4 digits in 1.
Which one? Row 1, column 1, box 1?
Box 1.
actually, we're down to 3 digits.
We're down to 3 digits.
Because we have 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 placed.
Which means
So
no
we
6,
only
no
need
6.
So that can't be 6. And we know that can't be 6 because it's been placed.
And we know that camp is like in that one, is like in that box 1, row 2, column 3 cannot be a 2.
Oh yeah, we've only got a 5 or an 8 in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Which means one of those 2 is a 2.
Okay, now I'm not entirely following why she's arguing that one of these 2 has to be a 2 when we don't have a 2 anywhere in box 2 yet.
Because
Or, for that matter, row 3.
we've got the other ones filled in, and we're positive. It's like, okay, 7, 3, 4, 9 are given digits. 1 and 6 we're pretty positive about. This is like, by given, it can't be in row 2. So one of those 2 has to be a 2, or one of these 2 has to be a 2 in order to have all 9 digits.
No, I'm arguing. Well, actually, that can't be a 2.
Yeah, so
and
one,
these are placed, so
one of those 2 is a 2.
in row 3. Yeah, 2 in row 3 has to be on the bottom.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that will force, because these are 2 and one of these is a 2, that will force, by that logic, one of these has to be a 2.
Yes.
Which is what my wife has been saying for the last 5 minutes. Husbands, if you're out there, let this be a lesson to you. Listen to your wife.
Yeah, it doesn't help with any, like, it doesn't help determine whether that's a 5 or an 8.
Which would really help, because we'd be able to fill in the rest of box 1 if we knew which one of those pairs of cells was 5, 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we're almost overlooking something, and, well, we might actually be. Look at column 3. Where can a 4 go?
Only in box 4, column 3.
Yeah, that's been shouting at us for a while.
Okay, does that help with anything?
Well, we know that's not 4. Let's start with that.
This is like, and that must not be a 4. Which by now makes one of those absolutely has to be a 4.
Yeah, we say as we pontificate the state of the grid here. We've got more than 2 candidates for 8 and 6. And they cross boxes. Well, that's annoying.
Okay, looking at box 4, we have 1, 3, 9, 7, and 4 reasonably placed. Leaving us 2, 5, 6, and 8.
Yep. Of which this is an 8. It's not 8, but could still be anything else. This isn't 6 or 8, but could be 2 or 5. This one, unfortunately, can still be anything, and this one we can only get rid of 6.
Okay.
Let's see, column 2 only has 2, 4, 5, and 8 left. This can't be 4. We know these.
Wait, that by definition has to be 4, because 4, 4, 4.
That's a 4, and that's a 4.
And we
So
determined
that puts a 4 in the middle of box 7. But
We-
this
we-
still be a 4?
because of the 4, 8 pair.
Yeah, it's in the same row, though.
Yeah, but that 4 has to be in the middle.
I'm arguing this could still be 4. This is 8, and that may put a 4 here.
Can we eliminate a 4 from the bottom?
I don't think we can.
Okay, looking at box 3, 7, 9, 2, 5.
Which leaves 1, 3, 4, 6, and 8
And we have
left to place.
strong candidates for 3. Is like, does that
Okay.
also mean this could be a 6? Strongly, potentially a 6?
And we already have a 6 in there. It says 1, 4, 6, 8.
Which pairs with this, which doesn't help us a whole lot of. Is there, okay.
I'm looking at, are there any other right and well? Yeah, this 9 has been staring here for the last.
So that
10 minutes.
that has to be a 5 then.
Okay, so that's a 5. Now, that tells us this is not 5. And more importantly, that's not 5. Well, that's irritating. I've got a 2, 6 and a 2, 7 here.
And we need,
Although we've now placed a 9 in row 4 because the only place we have a candidate for it is right here. Well, this cell can't be 9. And this one has a given 9 in the row already. And that one has a given in it. And so does that. So this 9's been sitting here waiting for us to discover it.
which means that has to be a 9.
So that 9 tells us that can't be 9, which means by corner pencil marking, which is why I put it there when it's down to only 2 candidates, that has to be 9.
Okay. Which removes.
Well, green shading, but that can't be a 9.
Does it help with anything else?
Well, actually, this 6 tells us that ain't 6.
Which means we actually have a 2, 7.
Now, we actually have a 2, 7 that's
Which
probably been
means-
sitting here, which means that can't be 2.
2, which means, okay.
Now, that 6 tells us this is not 6.
which means it's a 2 or an 8.
Unfortunately, we've got a 5-8 here, and this can still be 2, 5, or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Grr. And I've got 2/3 of a 2, 5, 8 triple here, but because I don't have all three in either the same box or the same row, actually we do have it in box 1, sort of, except we've only needed 2 from here. But with everything else filled in, that tells us absolutely nothing else with respect to box 1.
Or box 4, because that's going to be a 2 or a 5. Strongly either a 2 or a 5.
Oh, this 5 tells us that can't be 5.
Oh, okay, so it's a 4-1. It's like a 1-4-1-4.
Well, there's a 1-4 here, which importantly means that can't be 1.
Yeah. Which gives us a 2-7-2-7.
And that gives us 2-7, which means nothing else in column 8 can be a 2 or a 7, but we've already determined that. Good grief. We may as well get rid of the corner markings because they don't do us any good.
At least in that particular scenario. Well, at least, which means one of these
Now,
absolutely has to be.
These are 1 and 4. Now, the fact that this also occurs in box 6 and row 5 tells you neither of these are 1.
Okay. Okay. This is like a 3 or a 5 or a 2. Two, 3, 2, 3.
Well, you got too many possibilities. Well, actually, we know this can't be 6 because of the placed 6. We know none of these can be 6 because of the given.
That can't be a
And
6
we know
because
that
that
can't
can't be a 6 because of the
given
given
digits,
digits.
so-
That has to be a 6.
Yeah, so we've known for ages that that's a 6.
Not a 6.
It's definitely not an 8. I can't type either. Okay, so that's 6, which tells us that ain't 6. I've got the same useless 2, 5, 8 sequence in box 4 that we do in box 1. Hallelujah.
One's a 1, one's a 4, one's a 2, one's a 5. One's a 2, one's a 7. The 4 we don't know. In box 6. A 2 or a 7.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out at this point, what else did we overlook? Oh, when we finally get through this, it'll be a miracle. We've got 3 now. We now have 3 problematic 2, 5, 8 sequences. We've got it in box 1, box 4, and column 3.
Okay.
Actually, I think we put 6 in there, in row 9. If our markings are right, nothing else can be a 6, because the 6 can't go here by these 6s.
Okay.
Or here, or here, or here. So yeah, that's a 6.
Which means that has to be a 7. The one above it has to be a 7.
And, yep. And so that's a 7. And that will eventually be a 5 once I switch my modes.
Okay.
Now that 7 tells us that's a 2. That 2 will piggyback up here. That's a 1.
Which means that's a 2 and that's a 3.
That 1 will now piggyback over here. I got too many modes here. That's a 3. And that's a 2.
And we're pretty confident about that finally. Okay.
Now we have another row figured out that will greatly help us. Because this 2 will piggyback down here. That's a 3.
Mm-hmm. And that has to be a 5.
I'm not there yet. That 3 means this can't be 3.
Because we've
Placed it.
yeah.
Now, we've got 2, 5 in here, and now that's good.
Yeah, it's like if the only 2 options
Now,
here.
Here we've got cleaning up our markings. 1 and 2 are out.
Which means it's 5 or 7.
And, well, this one can't be 1 or 2 because it's been placed. So that has to be a 7. And now, 2 minutes after my wife figured it out, that's a 5.
Which means that has to be a 5. Because that cannot be a 5.
Okay, so that's not 5. That means that's a 2. Which now piggybacks over here. That's a 5. Okay, that 5 will tell us this is not 5.
And that's not 5.
And that's not 5.
Which gives us a 2-8 option.
And, well, that's not 5, and so we may as well get rid of that corner 2 because we've now got 2, 8
Okay.
sitting in column 1.
Yeah.
These 2, 2, 8 means nothing else can be a 2. So I'm arguing that's 7.
Yeah. Okay, which would make that a 7 and that a 2.
And now this one, by 2, 8 and all the other places it's better be a 1.
Yeah. Since that's
and that 1 tells me this is not 1.
which makes that a 1 by everything else placed.
And by our markings,
Yeah.
that now has to be a 1 because we've said there's only 2 places in box 8 and row 9, and we've now eliminated one of them, so a 1 has to go here.
Yeah. Which means there's only one place for an 8.
Now, what that... yep. And so that's 8 by corner pencil marking, and that better be 4 because it's the only digit left in box 8.
Which means this becomes it's like
So, because this is 4, this cannot be 4.
which makes that 4 and that 8.
And because we've got a 2, 8 looking here, this can't be 8, so that's now 4. That 4 piggybacks over here, that's 8 to complete row 7.
Finally.
still haven't unwound any of our 2, 8, and problematic 5s on the leftmost third of the grid, but we've got a lot more of it filled in, so there is that.
Okay.
Now, row 8, let's see. These can't be 8. Because we've placed it, but we've got a problematic 1, 4, 6 chocolate teapots worth of digits because this may end up as a 1, 6 pair, and this is a 1, 4 pair, and this, yeah, it can still be anything.
Okay, but since going up to box 6, we placed a 7. That means the other
Well,
one has to be
7, that has to be a 2 because that's been shouting at us for the last 5 minutes.
Okay, which means that
2, they'll tell us that's 7.
yay. Which means that cannot be a 7. That has to be a 4 or a 5.
So that can't be 7. That's 4 or 5. Well, what that does help us with is we know that's 7.
It has to be. Okay.
Row 2 and box 2. So what that means is even though we didn't clean up any of the else, in column 5, we only have 1 digit left.
It
That's
has
a 4.
4. Does that clean up anything else?
Yes, because that's a 5.
Which makes that an 8.
And no, there's an 8 here. I think you're looking for a 3.
No. Back in 1.
Now this 5 will tell me that's an 8.
Which means that's now a 4.
And that's now 4. Now, that 4 should go a long way towards filling out the rightmost third of the grid. Because this 4 tells me that's 1. And that's 4. And this is now not 1 or 4. That better be 6, which tells me that's an 8. This 6 tells me that's not 6, and it can't be 4 either, so we know that's a 1.
Okay, which
And
means
now
that's
a
a
4.
4. Okay, that leaves us with just a 6.
Yeah, I need 6 to fill out column 9 there, and it will help if I actually write the thing in instead of highlighting it in a color that nobody can read. And this one, by elimination, to fill in box 3 and column 8, better be 1.
Yeah.
At this point, we're essentially in write-ins now. Because we know that's an 8. That comes back over here. That's a 2.
That has to be a 5.
It has to be a 5 because it's the only thing left. Now, this 5 coming down here, well, this 8 tells me that's a 2.
Which makes
that 8. That 8 tells me
that's a 2.
2, 8, and because that thing is green, we're done.
Sheesh. It only took 2 hours. Plus.